Getting into something that I see over and over again with powerful women. It's not that you don't have the awareness of what you need in your life and business or the tools to implement the strategy that you might think is going to work, or really even the understanding, because I think you probably have all of those things. But stepping into true alignment happens when you're actually witnessed in it. And there's a difference between being self-aware and being in a room where someone can reflect you back to yourself in real time. And I want to speak to what has unlocked for me personally inside of a mastermind that I am a part of right now. I'm going to share how isolation can keep you looping in your head and how a recent conversation with my friend brought this so clearly into focus for me, and how easy it is just to stay in your head, refining, processing, circling the same thing over and over again, when what you actually need is relationship, reflection, and being in the energy of a group or other people who are moving forward. Friend, you don't need to know more. You don't need the pursuit of more information, more chat, and that might actually be keeping you from stepping into your power and embodying what you already know. Welcome to the Soul Aligned podcast. My name is Andrea Crisp. I'm a coach, author, guide, and I support intuitive women in reconnecting with their inner knowing so they can live, lead, and create from a place of deep alignment. My own path has been one of unraveling, releasing old identities, healing patterns, and learning to trust the wisdom within. This space is an invitation to return to yourself, to explore the inner work, the nervous system, the energetic shifts that allow your life to unfold with more ease, clarity, and truth. So, take a breath and let's begin. I am so glad that you are joining me today. I am really excited to share this episode with you. It is something that just felt like it dropped in the past 24 hours. So here I am. I got on the mic, got in the studio, and decided that I wanted to be sharing with you. And there has been a lot going on in my own life and business just in the past week. I was able to share it last week on the podcast with the trip that I took to Toronto and attending the Her Legacy Live event. If you have not heard that episode, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to that as well, because there were some really profound insights that happened for me specifically, and I think that will help you as well. A question that was posed to me that really shifted how I'm showing up in my life and in my business. But before we jump in today, I want to share a review that we got for the podcast. And I'm so excited. This is from my friend and one of my former clients, Tiffany Leader. And she says, Andrea is an amazing human who is gifted at holding space for healing and alignment. It's a must listen if you're a female entrepreneur. And I just want to say thank you, Tiffany, for the incredible review. Friends, if you have not left a rating and review, can I just ask you to do that today? To take a little bit of time out of your schedule. And if you're in the Apple app or Spotify, wherever you're at, if you can go ahead and actually leave a rating and review, or if you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. This makes a huge difference in the algorithm and how it shows the podcast and how we're seen by other people or found by other people. So you may not think that your review means anything or that your rating means anything, but let me tell you, it absolutely does. And when you do, please screenshot it and send it to me. You can email it to me at hello@andreacrisp.ca, or if you are already following me on Instagram, you can just DM it to me that way. There is something really exciting that I want to share with you today, and it has been a very, very long time coming. Now, I have been really sitting with where I am taking the business, where I am moving it forward, and ever since I really started to dive into human design, I really was taking a step back and saying, what is it that I want to do? How do I want to show up in my business that's different? How do I want to embody what it is that I'm learning and how I'm growing, and how am I making an impact in the world, in the community, and in the lives of women who are doing really, really amazing things. And so I really had to kind of take that step back and really reevaluate how I was showing up, what it is that I want to put out into the world, and really becoming more self-aware. But I kind of got stuck in the self-awareness, and there were some things that I was just holding off on. So I'm going to really share with you what has happened to really move me forward, and what I believe is going to help you move forward in your own life and in your own business. And so if you're in that place right now where you feel like, I'm in that messy middle, I'm stuck in the in-between, or I'm not really sure what I'm doing, or I kind of feel like I'm just looping around the same thing over and over and over again, this is going to be an episode I think is really, really going to help you. And so stay tuned all the way to the end, because I really want to share with you what I think your next step might be in your process. So I want to first talk about the difference between self-awareness and being witnessed. Now, for me, I have always been somebody has been super self-aware. In fact, almost to a fault. There are times where I am constantly evaluating where I'm at and what I'm doing and how I'm showing up, and almost sometimes to my detriment in a way, because I have often stopped myself from doing things because I think, well, I've got to fix this, or I need to learn that, or I need to do this inner work, or there's something that still is left for me to do. And so having the self-awareness is so helpful when it comes to doing the inner work, because you're able to really see those patterns. And for me, it has helped me tremendously to identify not only my patterns, but the patterns of my clients, to really see something very quickly and intuit it very, very powerfully. But the downside to that is that it can keep me in the same place. It can keep me overthinking and over looping, going over and over and over again, the same thing all the time. And there's a difference between being self-aware and being witnessed. And when you're witnessed, it is being seen and heard, and you're able to actually express what it is that you're going through. And somebody really powerfully, mirroring it back to you, or challenging you, or lovingly encouraging you to move forward. And just in the past couple of weeks, I have been a part of a mastermind, just coming out of the back end of the Her Legacy Live event. And just even in the past week, I have noticed a major shift in my energy. And it is because I am being witnessed. Not only am I being held inside of the container and being asked really, really powerful questions, but I'm also being held accountable to take the action to move forward. I'm being witnessed in my own stuff, really. And I noticed that all of a sudden things became super clear for me, because someone was able to mirror back to me what I had not been able to see for myself. And when your truth is reflected back by someone else, and by maybe their regulated nervous system, there's something powerful that happens. And that was exactly what I needed to take some steps forward in my own life and in my own business, and say, you know what, Andrew, you've been thinking about this for a long time. You've been sitting on this for a while. What is really the holdup for you? And I got really clear on what the holdup was. And maybe you're in a relationship right now, and you're, sitting in there thinking, where do I go? Do I move forward? Do I stay here in this relationship? Do I stay, or do I go? Maybe I'm meant to launch a program. Maybe I'm meant to do something. And you're wondering, what is it that I need to be doing? Oftentimes when you're in that overthinking, you stay stuck. But when you're in the energy of other people who are moving forward, that are creating momentum, that have the relationships that you desire, that have the business you desire, that is the missing piece between knowing what you know and becoming the more embodied version of who you are. And when I say embodied, I mean it's just that true essence of you coming to life. But when you stay in your own mind, in your own head, when you stay doing things on your own, it keeps you looping in the same patterns. So for me, I noticed not only was I showing up more in part of the mastermind that I am a part of, but I started having these deeper conversations with my friend Binu, and just even being able to chat with her, she's doing similar things in her business. It brought me so much clarity, and I stopped trying to do everything on my own. I stopped trying to figure everything out and just be like, okay, is this right? Is this perfect? Do I need to do this or do I need to do that? And one thing that I do want to share with you, because I think it's something that we can very easily fall prey to, is that when we have an idea or we're circling something and we're overthinking it, we then turn to Chat GPT or Claude, and we are, want to know all of the information and get AI's perspective on what it is that we should be doing. Now, there's nothing that is innately wrong about this, because so much of what we're doing in business now relies on AI, and I've personally done it. But here's the thing about that. When you are just solely going to Chat GPT and you're not trusting that you're getting a download from your intuition, from your higher power, from source, when you're not in the energy of other people that are regulated and creating actual momentum, you are actually relying on something that is just information. It is not energy. And information does not move people forward. Energy moves us forward. And so for me, when I was constantly on ChatGPT asking questions about how should I run this? What should I do for that? I was getting all sorts of really, really great answers, and it was pinpointing things to a T, exactly maybe how I should be approaching things. But at the end of the day, it didn't feel right. There was something that was off. And I felt like I was just trying to make it work based on what AI was telling me. I was circling and not integrating. And here's the thing, friend, you don't need more information. You need more embodiment. So when we're constantly going back to AI, asking the questions, and when we think, oh, well, what do I need a coach for? What do I need a community for? I have all that I need in AI. I hear people tell me all the time that ChatGPT is their therapist, that it's their coach. And don't get me wrong when I'm saying this. There have been many, many times that I have used ChatGPT to process through something that I needed to process in real time. But in doing so, you also have to know that you have to be in the energy of someone else to really move it through. That is the inner work. That is how we are created to function, not in isolation, but in connection and in community. So when you're in a constant search, when you're in a constant asking mode, it actually delays your expansion. It becomes something that you go to as a safety net and a workaround. And instead of taking action or moving forward, you're relying on it to give you the answers instead of actually going inside of yourself, trusting your own intuition, and then taking soul-aligned action. And further to that, you're not being fully expressed. So even when I was thinking about sharing this particular episode today, I wanted to make sure that I used AI correctly for this episode. So what I did was I actually wrote out what I wanted to say. I wrote out the points that I wanted to express, and I made sure that they were exactly what I wanted to say. I did ask AI to refine it Or is there anything missing? Is there something that I need to know that is not here? And then it gave me options. Now, I was able to use my intuition to go, yeah, that's right. That's not right. And really then take it back and go, okay, what is really wanting to come through me? What really wants to be fully expressed through me? Not only did I ask myself the question, but then I went to my friend, Binu, and I sent her some messages. And I was like, I'm ready to pull the trigger. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to embody this next level version of myself and to show up in it. And she sent me a response back and was like, yeah, I can hear it in your voice. I can feel it in your energy. And so I'm so excited because this is the next space that I'm moving in. And I'm really excited because it's something that has been sitting with me for a while, but I wasn't really ready to bring it to life. And I think it was because I was not in the embodiment of it yet. But I am now, and I'm very excited. So I'm excited to introduce the Soul Aligned Collective. Oh, I just can't even wait for it. This is going to be a beautiful space for women who really desire connection, that deep connection. They want to be in that collaborative energy. They want to be part of a collective space where we are really sharing things and supporting one another. And it's going to be like the coffee chats that I've had over the years, Courage and Conversations, Coffee and Connect, all of those things. It's going to be a better, more integrated version of that. And I've been wanting to host a space like this for some time because I really believe that as female leaders, we long to be connected. We long to have those spiritual conversations. We long to make a bigger impact in the world and to feel like we're doing it together, not in comparison or judgment of one another, but really lifting each other up. I was part of a community not long ago, and we were having these conversations about strategy and about things that really matter in our life and in our business, but it was really missing the spiritual component. And I thought there and then, that is exactly what it is that I want to bring into my space. So the collective is designed for you. Now, what does this look like? So it's going to be 2 monthly calls. So the first call is going to be called a collective call. And this is where we get on a call. It's a 60-minute call and we talk and we get to know each other and we share things in our lives, things that are going on. There will be breakout rooms. There will be topics of conversation that happen within the collective call. The second call a month is actually going to be a soul activation. And during this call, it's going to be where we are in the shared consciousness of perhaps a meditation or tapping or Reiki, and I'll be leading that. Maybe often I will bring in someone else who is amazing at what they do to lead us in an activation as well. And you'll also have access to all of the resources that will help you in supporting your own integration and your embodiment. And that means all of the guided meditations that I record, all the tapping videos, everything that I put out, you will have access to so that when you want something, you can go to it. Now, can you do some of this stuff on ChatGPT? Well, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, the energy of being in a collective is very different. It's so much more expansive and it's embodied, and it's going to help you make a bigger impact, not only in your community and in the things that you're doing, but it's going to directly support you. So I'm really excited about the collective. So if you are interested in knowing more about the collective, I highly encourage you to do one of two things, or maybe both. The first thing would be to check out the website at andreacrisp.ca. And then if you want to just chat with me about what option would be the better option for you, then you can book a connection call with me and we can talk about what does that look like for you. Whew. All right. This is so exciting. Friends, expansion does not happen in isolation. I know that to be true for myself. It happens when you're seen, when you're witnessed, when you're held in community, because that's when you become more of yourself. So if this landed for you, if you are like, yes, this is exactly what I need, I invite you into the collective, where you have the option of being in the collective or the circle, and come be witnessed, come be reflected. And I just encourage you to allow yourself to deeply connect with where you're going in the expansion that is moving into your life. Friend, thank you for being here, for walking this path with me. If this episode supported you, share it with someone who's on their own journey, and leave a rating and review to help the podcast grow. Until next time, trust your soul knows the way. Original music and production by Stephen Crilly.